Giants in the midst of their organized team activities. While Eli Manning's there and Brandon Marshall's there, Odell Beckham Jr. is not there. While OTAs are not mandatory, they are normally well attended, and now here's the Giants' biggest star not attending. Now, normally not a big deal, but considering the GM said that he needs to grow up in the end of last season, a season that was filled with drama, and you know, everything Beckham does is under a microscope. Pat, you cover this team. Is it a problem Beckham's not at OTAs?
It's not now. It might be. We don't know how McAdoo is going to take it. To me, it wasn't a huge deal because you don't question Beckham's work ethic, but it's a big deal in the sense that the perception isn't good. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look like he's following along with, say, Jerry Reese calling him into his office at the end of the season saying you have to mature, grow up, we want you to be a leader.
Right.
I mean, he's not only this team's best player, but he's also one of the best players in the league. And so he needs to act like it, set an example. We know you work hard, Odell, but you're supposed to work hard alongside your teammates. Also, along with Eli Manning's passing camp at Duke.
Right,
he missed that, which he had oral surgery that week, but it's still an open question. Why was it scheduled the same week that virtually everyone else on the offense was there working with Eli?
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal, honestly. First off, I don't think Beckham's a leader, right? You know, I don't think he's going to go out there all of a sudden. I think he's a guy that leads by example with his play on the field. I think he's a dynamic wide receiver. I think his idea of leadership is going out there catching 15 touchdowns. I don't think they're going to turn to Odell Beckham Jr. in that locker room, all of a sudden look at him for words of wisdom and all of a sudden lead this group. I don't think that's the case with him. And number two is, I don't question his work ethic. I really don't. I mean, I think he will be there ready and set to go. I mean, he had the hamstring injury early on. Coughlin was calling upon it. Right. The scenario is he comes back. He takes the league by storm. I get the boat trip last year. I understand that. But that's a bad decision. Odell Beckham Jr. still went out there. He didn't catch the football. He didn't have a good game against the Green Bay Packers.
But I question his sense of team. Right? And to your point, right, all we want, the Giants are dying for this guy to calm the distractions down. And this is another self-inflicted issue right here where all he had to do was show up. He could have probably even sat on the side.
Right. And
I mean, it's just, let me just work Anthony into this real quick before I get back to you, Pat. I mean, at some point, doesn't he have to calm everything down that's around him? And this does not do it.
Yeah, I mean, I see your point, Jonas, but, you know, talent rules at this level. I mean, he's one of the 5 or 10 best players in the NFL. Do you think that his teammates care that he doesn't come to the voluntary thing as long as he produces on the field?
I don't know. Everybody already told me a boat trip to Miami and a day off didn't matter either, and it did matter in the end.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. You know, if you want to draw the direct parallel to them not playing well in the playoffs, I mean, I don't know if that really holds water. No, that's a boat pun, by the way.
Thank you. Well done.
The other thing, though, Moose, is like you say he's not a leader. He leads by example, which I agree with that. But if you were leading by example, you'd be there. So, you know, to me, leading by example, he doesn't have to say anything.
But I look at it more so lead by example was play on his field, more so
like in games.
Yeah, like during the course of the game. I mean, he's going to be a guy that goes out there and sets that offense up. I mean, and that is where I look at Odell Beckham Jr. And I also think we have to start to view him with a little bit of a different focus, where maybe we are expecting a little bit too much out of him. Listen, the boat trip, and I was on him at that time, was out of line, right? You can't go out there before a play and go down to Miami and celebrate. This, to me, I don't really think is that big of a deal.
We got to leave it there. Eli Manning's won 2 Super Bowls. He's there. You should be there.